Hello creative friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing something new. I'm doing a layout share. I had accumulated a bunch of layouts that I needed to file, and I always love looking at other people's layout share videos. So I thought, hey, that would be a great motivator for me, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. That's why I do the videos, so hopefully you will get some inspiration and enjoy looking at what I'm making, and get some ideas for yourself. But if you like this, leave me a comment below and I'll continue doing it. I'm hoping that I can do it once a month and it will help me to not get such a huge stack, and I can file things more regularly, or at least monthly. This particular stack is not comprehensive to everything I've done over the last couple months, because I did file some things but not other things, and then there's a couple things I've done that I have to save for design teams and show them at another time, but that's okay. We're gonna go through, and I'm gonna say for now this is the last couple months, things that I have done mostly over the summer or maybe early fall. So another comment, if you have any of these old Project Life page protector boxes, this is what I use. I flip it over to store my layouts that I need to file. These boxes are so sturdy. Everything that Project Life and Becky Higgins made, the quality of the packaging was so sturdy, and I have not gotten rid of any of these. So I use these for projects, for holding layouts, just everything. So just FYI, if you have those, don't get rid of them, use them. So let's see, let's start with what's on top. This is a 6x8 multi-page. Actually, I think so we can see it better, I will move everything below it off. And I've got some journal pages there too. So this is a 6x8 multi-page, out of the pocket, and then a couple pocket pages. Did this for Ellie Studio for September, I believe, with some of the Good Eats or Let's Eat themed products. My son was doing an assignment for his chef's class, his high school class. He had to cook a meal for us at home for his final. It was absolutely delicious. Did a caprese salad, homemade pizza sauce and dough from scratch, and homemade tiramisu with lady fingers from scratch. Picture of him here putting the tiramisu together. So this will go in his 6x8 album. I have 12x12 albums. I've got some journaling albums, and I've got a 6x8 for the family, and then I've also got 6x8 for each kid. And so if there's a story that is very specific to that child, I'll put it in their 6x8 album. And if it's something that's more family, like several of us are doing it together, I will put that in our family album. So in theory, I could do this for either family or my son's album, because it is about how we enjoyed what he was doing, but I think I'll put it in his album. And then maybe sometime I will do a flip through of some of those smaller albums. So this was also for Ellie Studio for September, Halloween theme. This will go in my 2023, I believe, or maybe 2024. October daily, or October occasionally. I had just played with the Snapchat filter. I'd never done that before. My kids were into it and I thought it'd be fun. So I did all these kind of like spooky pictures. Some are silly, some are scary. And then I picked one that I liked to blow up. So this will go again in my 6x8 October occasionally album. And that's why I did it in this size. And I used a lot of the Halloween products from Ellie Studio. I love it. I love the stamping. I love this paper. This was a fun one. Let's see, next on top, these were not done in any particular order, or I'm not showing you them in any order, just the stack. This was actually a Vicki Boutin class. I don't have this posted on Instagram because I did not design it. I just followed instructions. This was her Flower Emporium. Wait, is that correct? No, this was her cut and paste weekend, cut and paste class. And this particular layout was sitting on my desk after the class, ready to find a picture for. And then my oldest, my daughter just went off to college, and she sent me a first day of school picture, and it just worked with this. Remember these beautiful details, write it all down. I thought the pencils sort of felt school-like, and so I put her first day of school and talked about her first day of school right there. So I love it. This is gorgeous. We did some mixed media. I don't do that enough, so that was really fun to do that in the class. This one was for a Simple Scrapper assignment. I'm on their design team, and our assignments get published in the Spark magazine, which is a member-only magazine. But this one was based off a sketch. Now, if I remember correctly, it was a digital template, not a sketch, but I used it as a sketch. It had multiple circles on it, and I really wanted to use this summer collection and document summer stories, so I used the template as a sketch instead. So what I love about summer, I did a list, basically documenting the different pictures, s'mores in the backyard, relaxing, reading a book by the pool, walking around the farmer's market, playing tennis. Started doing that with some friends. I love it. And then our small town has a very, I want to say big parade. It is a big parade, but for a small town, it's a big parade at the 4th of July. So that is something we do every summer. And then this is just kind of a decorative page with my journaling, but also a lot of embellishing, just so I could have fun with the product. So I love that. That will go in my family album, 6x8 album. Next we have, this also was for Simple Scrapper. This will probably go either in the family album, or I do some Chicago albums because we visit my in-laws, so the kids' grandparents in Chicago. We're from Seattle, and this was when they were very little. This little girl was the same girl that had her first day of college, so you can see she's pretty little there. I don't know, maybe 10, maybe even younger. Actually, probably younger than that even. But we did the Legoland Discovery Center in the Chicagoland area, and the assignment for Simple Scrapper was to use 2 or more floral pattern papers, which, as you know, that can be really busy and difficult to do. And this is a busy layout, but I still really like it in that if you look closely, this is a very large floral pattern paper. Then I mixed it with a small floral pattern paper, and then there's a third. It's not a floral, but it is leaf paper. And so I think all those together work really well. I used a die to cut out some flowers, used stickers from the collection. This was an Amy Tangerine Late Afternoon, I believe it's called. And then I have a lot of washi tape, and I had the whole collection of washi tape for this collection. So I ended up making a filler card and just putting a sticker on it and using up some of the washi that went with this collection. So I really like it. It's fun, it's busy, but I think it really, the busyness kind of goes with the theme of being at Legoland, which was so busy and fun and very kid-oriented. So that was great. I like that. Okay, this one was also for Simple Scrapper. This was based on a sketch. The sketch was 12 by 12, but I was motivated to use this new collection. This is a Carta Bella coffee collection, and I'm very literal. So when I see a coffee collection, my brain wants to document coffee. we don't have to do that. I need to learn to kind of move away from that. But I thought, okay, let me document the fact that we have 3 coffee machines on our counter, because that's a little unusual. And then I started laying it out on the 12 by 12, and I thought, no, I don't really want to do a 12 by 12 for this story. I'm doing more 6 by 8s this year when it comes to family stories, and this will go in the family album. Because this machine is mostly the one my husband uses, this is the one that I mostly use, and this is the one that my son in high school mostly uses. So just kind of fun. I love this collection. It is so pretty. And a lot of these elements, these clusters, were based off the sketch. But like I said, it was 12 by 12. I shrunk it down to 6 by 8. So it is pretty similar, but slightly different. And those sketches are in the Simple Scrapper community. And so I can't show you the sketch on this video, but you can always use this layout as a sketch if you would like to scrap lift it. So I'll show lifted up so you can see the colors and the details. That was super fun. I like that. So that goes in my family album. And then these are a little bit older, but they still hadn't gotten filed, so I figured I would show them in this video. This also was a Simple Scrapper. This was a Stash Bash challenge. We had to use wood veneer, craft paper, and one other thing. Now I can't remember what the other thing. Oh, and punctuation mark. So I chose an ampersand. So I painted some of the wood veneer white. So I have wood color and white, and in my clusters. And this is Vicki Boutin. Trying to think what collection. It's a couple years old, but I love, she has a lot of craft background paper, so that's why I picked that. And then this paper was a little bit tricky to use because it's got such a large print just on one side. And so I decided to do kind of a diagonal look to my layout to kind of mimic where the flowers on the paper were going. And then I needed some color, so added some pops of color with my embellishing. So this is obviously a 12 by 12. It's when we went to Chicago in 2022. All my Chicago albums are 6 by 8, so this will just go in our family 12 by 12 album. Then this was from 2 months ago, I think. Oh wait, goes that way. This was for Ellie Studio. There was a theme or a products of crafting. There was like a sticker sheet that had scrapbooking and knitting and scissors and all kinds of different stuff. There was also a stamp set with similar craft-related themes. And once a month, I have a Zoom, a scrapbooking Zoom with my friend. She used to live in the same area as me, but she moved. And so, oddly, we always joke we scrapbook now together more than we did when she lived here, because we are dedicated once a month. We put our tablets up and we scrapbook together. So I had to document that. This will go probably in my Me album. I do have a 6 by 8 Me album. I have several volumes of that, and I think that's what this one will go into. Here is another Ellie Studio from a couple months ago. I hope the glare's not too bad, but I don't want to take all the cards out. So this was a zoo-themed product line with some of the add-ons for that month. I loved the chipboard animal stickers. That was probably one of my favorite things that month that was released. So I went back in time. Again, this is the high school boy that I have now drinking coffee, and this little girl is now in college. So I went back in time. I've got a lot of things from past years that are not scrapped, and so it's really fun actually to not be caught up, and then I can go back and document some of these things. But that collection had a stamp set that was zoo themed. If you're familiar with Ellie Studio, she's got tons of different colored puffy hearts, which I love. So I matched those to the color. I don't know if you can see that. There's little hearts and the U's of the fun card. My daughter's favorite animal is the sloth. So had to use a sloth sticker, document that. Here they're feeding penguins. So using the penguin stamp and the penguin sticker worked perfect. And on this particular trip to our zoo, it was the last like week or month that our elephants were here. They got relocated to another zoo. And so we went specifically to see the elephants one more time before they moved. So that was super fun. Love that pocket page. And back in, oh gosh, 2014, that's how old this is, I was doing 12 by 12 pocket, 12 by 12 Project Life. And so that, this spread will go in that album. And then the last, no, actually not last, last 12 by 12 layout, but I've got some journals here to show you. This was also from a Vicki Boutin class. This was her Flower Emporium weekend. It's a double page, but it doesn't fit in my camera angle, so I will show you one at a time. The Flower Emporium collection was gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I have more products or layouts from that class, but for some reason in my stack that I'm filming today, this was the only one. But senior year of high school, my daughter and her friends did a professional photo shoot in their kind of white graduation dresses. So I printed out some of those, and this one is all about her. I've got some other ones that have her and her friends. So the floral and the greenery of the picture, plus the fact that her dress is a very neutral color, went with this Flower Emporium collection, just like they were made together. Her cap and gown were purple, but her colors for her high school are kind of a dark green and purple. So again, it's just perfect. And if you did this class or are familiar with this class, there's a 6x8 album with the Flower Emporium, and I'm gonna put all of her senior pictures in that album. I've done a lot of the base pages, but I haven't put the pictures in. So I loved this, keep this book clean. It was just a filler, like, or a layering piece, but it has that school theme and the colors, and I think this is stunning. This won't go on my Instagram because, again, I didn't design it. I just followed instructions and put pictures where I was told to put them, but I love it. And then I am doing a journal style Project Life this year. Now, I am very behind in what I'm doing. I'm not caught up to date. The time I'm filming this, it's late September, and I'm still working on February, but I've had a lot going on, which you may see in the journaling here. So this was shown on my Instagram quite a while ago, but since I'm flipping through this, I'll just show you. That was my title page with some little AI cartoons of my family. I thought that was super cute. This also was shown a long time ago on my Instagram. New Year's Eve is my daughter's birthday, so we always have a kind of a slumber party. And so at 12:01 on 2025, they're outside making noise. And that actually is not her birthday, but when it's at 12:01, but at 11:59, it's still her birthday. So did that as my very first page. Then this page is on my Instagram. Just kind of, it was the first week of the month. Just some miscellaneous, actually there's only 2 pictures. One of my layouts was on the front cover of Sparks magazine. And then I took my mom and her little dog to the mall. He had a little pup cup. And then this year I am going to use a lot of my Pink Fresh Studio and Citrus Twist stash to fill in the miscellaneous areas. This journal, if you're interested, is from Heba Al-Sabi, and she has a website. I am using her large rings this year. large ringed notebook. Now this one I have not posted on my Instagram. I've been a little bit private about what I've been busy with, but I did have chemo in January through April. I'm now in remission, so no need to worry. Definitely was a rough time, but I did a lot of crafting during my healing time, and that really helped me mentally and physically a lot. So it's maybe a little strange to do such a pretty page. I love the flowers, but a lot of these sentiments worked really well for what I was going through. You got this, take it easy. And then I used these little Tim Holtz dies for these little letters to fill in a little title in that tiny little spot. So, oh, and then I've got some blank pages, and then the rest of this I will have to show you next month, because some of those are for a design team I haven't shown yet. So that is my layout share for now. I again hope to try to come back every month and show what I've done. I may or may not be able to keep to that timeline, but if you really like this type of video, leave a comment for me and I will do harder. I will work harder to get these videos done. And if you're not as interested in it, then that's fine too. So I hope you have a great, scrappy, and creative week and get some projects done. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye now.